Having the right mindset when doing anything is paramount to the success of that particular venture. So whether that is going to be looking for a job, getting through the interview stage, changing careers, or designing a completely new one, or maybe starting a business. So before you start doing anything at all, your mindset has to be right. Because often one of our biggest obstacles in getting something done, or in general getting what we want, is ourselves. We are our biggest obstacle. So for example, if you are looking for a job and you are going with the wrong mindset, for example, you're thinking, I'm not good enough to do this job, or I'm not experienced enough, or I don't have the right qualifications, or whatever it is that you might be thinking, then of course you will not get the job. You will not pass the interview, because by believing that you can't, you will not be able to do it. So you are already programming yourself and your mind for a failure. There is a famous saying by Henry Ford that I absolutely love, and it goes, if you believe you can or you can't, then you are right. That limiting thinking that you might have about yourself or the world around you is called limiting beliefs, and they are coming from your belief system that you have formed while you were a child and while you were growing up. But the thing is, our limiting beliefs are subconscious, and they are telling us what is ultimately not true. For example, if you have been saying something like, bad things always happen to me, or I'm no good at public speaking or speaking to people, or all my relationships are painful, or maybe I'd never make a good leader, or I could never start my own business. These are all examples of our limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are simply assumptions about your reality that come from your perceptions and from your life experiences. Some of the most common limiting beliefs are fear of success, fear of failure, fear that we are not good enough to achieve what we want, fear of not being loved, fear of rejection. This particular fear is generally leads you to either avoid relationships altogether or always try and please other people. Having negative attributes to being rich or having money. For example, rich people are criminals or whatever it is that you might believe in. Fear of greatness, fear that we don't deserve, we're not worthy of success. We have to work very hard, long hours for our money. Work is hard and work is not fun and it can't be enjoyable. And fear that others hold me back. The same goes for your beliefs about your work. If you truly believe that the work is hard and it can't be enjoyable and you can't create a life for yourself that you would ideally want because your work doesn't allow you to, then this is what you're going to get. Our thoughts have so much more power than we actually realize. What we think and what we believe becomes our reality. For example, everyone has an opinion about what life is. So for someone, life is a game, and for others, life is hard, or life is unfair. This is what they believe in, and this is what their reality is going to reflect. For someone who identifies life as a game, they are going to be looking for ways to win. For those who think that life is unfair, they might be giving up on the things without even starting them, because what's the point? I mean, it's unfair, right? So I might not even start. And for the person who believes that the life is a gift, then they will be finding gratitude and things in life that make them happy. So it is really all about what you believe in, because that will ultimately become what you live every single day. But the good news are that everything is in our hands, and we can change our life and we can change our future by changing our thought patterns and getting rid of the limiting beliefs that we might have. I will be giving you 2 really great exercises or practices in the end of the video that you can do and that will help you tremendously to identify and get rid of your limiting beliefs. So make sure you stick to the very end. Your belief system, your values and assumptions, they all act as a filter for how you interpret or interact with the world around you. Any type of limiting thinking comes from your belief system. What you believe in really leads to what kind of thoughts you will be having about yourself and any opportunity that you are going to have. Everything starts with our childhood. When we start exploring the world, we start learning about what is around us. And this is also when our belief system is forming. If you have children, or if you have seen children doing something and then they just go and they kind of look at their parents to see what their parents' reaction might be. So this is how they understand if what they are doing is okay. If their parents are smiling, then it's like an encouragement. Or if they see that their parents get angry or irritated or scared, whatever that emotion that the parents portray will tell the child what to believe in. Our childhood upbringing and our society that we grow up in has a massive impact on who we are today at the deepest level. So by the time we become adults, we already have developed a very specific pattern of how we automatically react in certain situations. We have also developed by then a belief systems and attitudes that have been shaped by those who were around us when we were growing up. So each of us have learned different ways of reacting, which is why when faced with certain situations, some people may react by shutting down, others react with anger, some people get anxious, and others might get excited. So what determines those different reactions is our learned response to those particular situations. So for example, if in your childhood your parents said the phrase, "we need to talk," only when you were in trouble, then every single time you hear this phrase today, you would already have the negative response to it, because this is something that you have learned during your childhood, and this is something that you have been conditioned with. And this applies not only to words, but to your emotions as well. When, for example, we felt anxious or stressed before the exam, so while it could have been a very good motivator for us to do really well, but if that anxiousness becomes a synonym of action, so we will need to feel anxious in order for us to do something well, then this becomes a real problem, because this conditioned emotion is going to have a tremendous effect on our lives. Our belief system drives our life. Beliefs, though, are hard to see because they are unconscious and influence us or our behaviors and our thought process without us even realizing it. But these hidden beliefs have very powerful impact on how we see ourselves and the world around us. There are 3 areas that you can look at to help you identify your hidden belief systems. So the first area is self-talk. Self-talk is how you talk to yourself in your own mind. Look at your I am statements. So often when you talk to yourself, your self-talk starts with I am. For instance, I'm not organized. I'm a procrastinator. I'm bad at money management. The thing is, when we say I am, we are identifying with that particular behavior as if it was already a part of our identity. It's really hard to change a behavior if you believe it is who you are. But what you need to understand and acknowledge is that these behaviors are just simply something that you have done, not who you are, and you can choose to do them differently. You can learn a new skill to improve what you are doing, for example. If you are saying you are bad with money, it is not who you are, it is just a skill that you are not really good at, which you can change. So think about what I am statements do you use regularly? Which ones do not really serve you? What I am statements could you use instead? Another common phrase you might hear yourself saying or people around you saying is, what if? So for example, what if I fail? What if the person reacts in a negative way? What if I lose everything? Our ifs may be negative, but we can also flip them to a positive if. So instead of saying a negative if, try saying something like, what if I create a new life? What if I succeed beyond my wildest dreams? What if I can create the relationships that I want? Ask yourself and let me know in the comments below, guys, what negative what ifs do you often say or think about? The second area is disproportionate reactions. Have you ever noticed, either in yourself or in someone close to you, that you or them overreact to a particular situation? So if you have a disproportionate reactions to a situation, it usually shows that there is something hidden behind it. So some sort of a hidden story, let's say. So for example, if you are extremely upset because your partner failed to do the dishes, you are attaching some bigger meaning to the small disappointments. It is a signal that there is some sort of hidden story that is being triggered inside of you. And your story can be very different. So your story may be, my partner doesn't care about me. Or it can go even deeper and say, no one will ever love me. I don't deserve to be loved. So in this case, even a tiny action like your partner not doing dishes would be a signal to you, and it will be like a confirmation that your hidden story that you are telling yourself is true, which would then lead to that overreaction from your side. Your reaction do not have to just be your behaviors. So your reaction can also take place only in your thoughts and your emotions that get triggered in certain situations. So take a moment and think if there are experiences, situations or statements that trigger you to react more extremely than the actual situation would warrant. What drives these reactions? The third area is repeating patterns. We need to remember that our external circumstances, or in other words, what happens to us, reflect our inner stories. So if we notice that situations keep popping up, it's a signal that there is a belief or story that is causing it to repeat again and again. So do you tend to play the same role in all your relationships or friendships, such as rescuer or victim or prosecutor from the Karpman's triangle, for example? Do you tend to end up in the same situations repeatedly? In your intimate relationships, in your jobs, your friendships, public places, and so on? Do you repeatedly get hurt or abandoned, get injured, have money struggles, have conflicts with co-workers? Think about these examples. Can you think of any patterns that tend to repeat in your life? What are these patterns telling you about your belief systems? Take a moment and really reflect on this. In order to rewrite your life story and create a life that you really want, you will need to rewrite some of your beliefs. But first, you need to identify what you believe in and where this belief is coming from. Then you can identify which beliefs work for you and which you would like to change. So to identify your beliefs, you will need to look at different aspects of your life and think about any circumstances or experiences during your childhood and teenage years that influenced your belief. Then think about what do you believe in now because of these influences. So, as promised, here are 2 exercises that will help you to identify your limiting beliefs and then change them into beliefs that you would like to have instead. Take a piece of paper and divide it into 3 columns. So the first column is going to be your life areas. Life areas can be family, relationships, career, work, physical body, religion, etc. You can add any area that really matters to you. The second column is going to be experiences, circumstances, and others' beliefs. This is where you would write anything that you have experienced in your childhood or any circumstances and any beliefs that maybe your parents had or your friends that influenced you to start believing in what you believe now in regards to that particular area of your life. And the third column is your resulting beliefs or your story. So what is it that you believe in now? After doing this exercise, you will see much clearer picture as to what you believe in, but will also have a better understanding where your beliefs exactly are coming from and whether the belief is truly yours. Of course, with my private clients, we go much deeper into digging out what their beliefs are, but we don't really have time to go into all the details now. But if you guys are interested in doing that deeper one-on-one work, drop me an email. All my contact details will be in the description box below. And the second exercise that I want to give you today will help you change your limiting beliefs, and it's called table leg method. So imagine your belief is like a tabletop, and the evidence that supports your belief is like the legs of that table. Just like with a table, if you knock enough legs out from under it, the table will collapse. And the same is going to happen with your belief. If you find enough evidence or facts to prove that your belief is wrong, your belief will also collapse. Then, after you have collapsed the old unwanted belief that makes you doubt yourself or your dreams, you can use the same method to build up a new one. So it also works in reverse. You will just need to find evidence that supports your new belief. So write out a belief that you feel is causing you pain or is holding you back. Now list at least 3 examples, either from your own life or from life of others, that disproves your limiting belief that you don't want to have. After you have done that, write up a belief that you would like to have instead. And then write 3 evidence examples that support that belief. It is quite a simple but very impactful practice that will make a big difference to your beliefs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it some love, share with your friends, and of course hit the subscribe and bell buttons to be notified every single time the new video is up and to get more tips on designing career and life that you love. I wish you all a great day, a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!